Hey everyone, welcome back to our G1 coverage. These are the final three nights of the round robin coverage. He's got Dontaku on his shirt, 2017. I'm repping the club for life. Before we get into the video though, I just want to let you guys know once again, there's a Discord server. Link will be in the description down below. Make sure you join that to know whenever I put out a new video. Links to Campo's channel, RLG Cast, will be in the description as well. And if you guys like what you see, you guys have been, because I've been noticing an increase in views and increase in numbers. So I thank you for that. So if you do like what you see, make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit that like button, and make sure you share. So this way we can grow it even more, so we can do more reviews like this for each and every one of you. So with that out of the way, Campo, welcome back.
Hello.
It's you.
I think I was here. I've been here at some point.
DDP.
Yeah, nice.
But we're working on the final three nights of the round robin competition. First match of the night was a C block match, I believe it was, which was Kenta versus Hinari. Both men were out at this point. It wasn't a bad match.
For a double out situation, it was a pretty good match. In the terms of the grand scheme of the G1, it was nothing crazy, but the fact that both of them are eliminated already and put on that quality of a match to me was like, and that this is from this point on, this is people start getting eliminated more.
Yeah.
And all of the elimination matches got better and better, I think, as it progressed.
Absolutely. When there were more stakes, or when somebody was able to play spoiler in some of the matches.
Even like every match just from now on out was
good. Yeah. The only thing I had the issue with was, if you really wanted to cement Hinari in the heavyweight division, this was maybe where you could have gotten a second win.
Yeah, that's fair. But Kenta's coming off a huge win.
Yes. So keep the momentum hot. Kenta goes over by submission. It was this was Hinari's last match of the tournament too. So he went 1-5 in the tournament, but their talks, like, they're bringing him, but they said he's probably going to get
his win was huge.
Yeah. Because it's a win over Tanahashi, there's talks about bringing him back for next year's G1.
Yeah.
For sure. Next we had that's what I wanted to mention about the setup in this arena. It looked like an old gymnasium because they had all the lights on.
Yeah, I was going to say that whenever they do the actual gymnasium thing where they have all the lights on, it takes me really out of the matches.
Yeah,
because it's just really strange.
But it's like they didn't even set.
It did, but they don't even set up their normally. If you see it, they set up their little gimmick thing that they have with their own lights and stuff.
Yeah,
and for some reason in this arena they just don't.
No, they had on the second level, they just had that video screen and that's it.
Yeah.
But really going into the second match, it was Toriano versus Jeff Cobb. The fact that all the lights were on and everything kind of helped this match a little bit. I like Jeff Cobb's like imitation of Toriano. He comes out with the Hawaiian shirt and the DVD.
It was pretty fun.
Yeah.
It was pretty. This was the match, though. I don't remember if you remember last week when I was saying there's a match where the heel type character doesn't work with the comedy of Toriano, and this was it for me because it was funny. Everything
because we were going to get funny. They said we were going to get funny Jeff Cobb in this one,
and it was funny. The reverse surfboard was hilarious.
Yeah,
but the thing was,
the arms inside his singlet.
To me, you're taking away from that character by putting him in this situation. It would be like if you had Great O'Khan in this comedy match. I just don't think it works.
Or even someone like even if you were to bring it, like someone like a Stone Cold Steve Austin.
We always say that, but it works, right?
But if you were to like fighting someone like an R-Truth, you just wouldn't think of that. You know what I mean?
And surprisingly, this does work. But I just think at the end of the day, this is not the guy that you want to give this gimmick because you're trying to make him look really hard, and you're taking that away at this moment.
Even though,
okay.
But that drop kick though, with his arms inside his singlet, that was pretty sick.
He had his arm stuck in his singlet for like a good 5 minutes.
For half the match. They wrapped him up like a burrito in the ring apron, and
it was a little bit too much, but it was funny.
It was.
I'm not gonna lie.
Toriano at this point was eliminated. Jeff Cobb needed the win to stay alive. Jeff Cobb goes over, stays alive to fight one more match at this point.
He lives to play another day.
Lives to fight another day. Next, we have, I don't understand where he's getting these matches from, which was Shingo Takagi versus Yujiro Takahashi. Where has Takahashi been hiding these fantastic matches?
Bruh, this was the match I was telling you. Remember, I also said this last week. Yes. I got to do a lot of referencing to last week. Holy crap! What a friggin' match!
Yeah,
like this is arguably in the conversation of if it's not, maybe not top 5, but it's really close.
Yeah,
for a match that had no business being.
Being as good as it did. Like Takahashi, this tournament has been like, I mean, granted, Takahashi's opponents this tournament have been really stellar.
Yeah. And he's been around for a long time, and he has a real wrestling background, like a Roman Greco wrestling. Yeah. So he does know how to work with people. And I think it's just working.
And he went beat for beat with Shingo. Like, I mean, he went beat for beat.
With the whole little gimmick thing with the people running out and show with the thing. Yeah. And then with Peter getting the crowd amped up. I think when the crowd is that loud, he's going to be a big player.
They don't show that. But both Peter and Miho Abe, they don't show it on cameras, but they're the ones like banging. That when you hear the mat banging, that's them. When you hear clapping, they get the crowd started.
We'll get to Miho after. I don't remember if it's this one or another one, but there's some good stuff. But when the crowds are back to like being really loud, I think Yujiro is gonna get over, like big time over, because right now his gimmick is working. He's working well in the ring. He has Peter to get the crowd going, and then House of Torture's whole little funny gimmick that they have going on is completely working.
Yeah, it is. It is completely working. Like I said, but the crowd got behind Shingo though when he was making that comeback. Shingo goes over for the win.
He's such a good wrestler.
He stays alive. He actually, at this point, he went to the top of the standings in that group. At this point, with the win, he is such a good performer. He has really come into his own over the last maybe 4 or 5 years. Like he has really. It's just when I look at it though, it just makes me upset because of the fact that how many more good years do we have out of these guys left?
And that was my whole point. Okay, I don't want to know spoilers. We'll get there when we get there. Yeah. But let's make a bookmark of this point because I think there's a really good point to be made about this.
Yeah.
Like how many years do some of these guys have left?
Yeah. Because Shingo's what, 41, 42?
Yeah. And granted, the way the lifespan of New Japan wrestlers go, him and Naito still do have time. But it's still getting to the point where a lot of the situation doesn't make sense to me, especially when you're showing us matches like this and you're letting these guys show that they belong. I don't really care if they job to new guys because I think that's something that New Japan does well.
That's the thing. I don't really, other than maybe Oiwa or I don't know. New Japan really doesn't have any homegrown talent right now that they're really pushing.
No. Maybe Takahashi, the other Takahashi is like their baby. Him and Okada.
Yeah, Okada's still fairly young.
Yeah, they're like the same age, I think.
Yeah, and it was a great win by Shingo. Keeps him alive, puts him to the top of the group. At this point, they were teasing a 7-way tie in that group.
Yeah, and then the other group was a 4-way tie.
A 4-way tie. Yeah, Group A, B,
and then in Group A there was a chance for a 3-way tie. Sorry, which we'll get to later. Then there's the 7-way tees in Group C, and then or is that Group D?
D is the 7-way.
Is the 7-way, and then in Group C they left it open that anyone could happen. And C was a 4.
In Group B, it was the story of will Tamatonga catch up to Jay White in time for his final match.
So in terms of setting up storylines, they did an excellent job. You had me, you were slowly losing me in maybe the last little bit in terms of storyline because New Japan doesn't really do storyline. New Japan. So this is what I learned, by the way. I'll try to do this as fast as I can. The show called Road is really called Road 2. New Japan Road to. And what it is between every pay-per-view, it's the road to that insert that name of pay-per-view.
So it's Road to Dontaku, Road to Wrestle Kingdom, Road to
every storyline is only formed in ring, and it's only leading up to that pay-per-view, and then all storylines reset for the ending of that.
It's like a mini season.
Yeah, it's like a mini season, exactly.
Yeah. Where I have my thoughts on the next one for this, because they already planted the seeds for this in a later match. Next match of the night was Will Osprey versus Yoshihashi. Another great match.
Yeah. I told you, Yoshihashi is going, baby. He's pumping.
He's and selling that injury to that shoulder and the neck really, really well.
I was very surprised by this match. Yeah. Well, I shouldn't be because it's Will Osprey. But Yoshihashi's really trying to cement that he can wrestle and that he doesn't need Goto to get over.
Yeah, or the comedic, like, because he can be comedic sometimes. He doesn't need that comedic gimmick either.
He's kind of separated himself completely from that. At least in these weeks that have been the G1, he hasn't done any comedy.
Yeah, we've gotten serious Yoshi.
He's working.
Yeah. It was like there was a couple like good back and forth, some good reversals in this match. That reversal from Osprey when he's setting up for Karma and he reverses it into the Os Cutter.
Yeah, that was amazing. And just the transition in this match from each side. So when one person really was putting on the offense, and then as it slowly transitioned to the other person, they did that really well. It was very fluid.
Yeah, it didn't. And like I said, Yoshi selling that shoulder, another fantastic match. Yoshihashi, I think, got eliminated in this one because he took the loss. Will Osprey needed the win to. No, he wasn't eliminated. It tied Will Osprey and Yoshihashi. So this is where they started teasing that.
Yeah,
that seven-way tie.
This is where, to me, okay, yes, the storyline got better, but you also started making it get weird in terms of people. There was a lot of really fast wins that came out of nowhere.
Yes.
They start coming where the match is only like 1 minute and someone just rolls somebody up and the match is over.
Yes.
This wasn't that case, but the ending of this match was like, holy shit, that just happened. Like it came out of nowhere. It just
flash
happened.
Finishes, they've been calling them.
Yeah,
even Kevin Kelly made like finishes where they don't even apply their finisher. It's just like a roll up and a win, or
oops.
Yeah. Holy shit. Yeah. So another great match. This was like a solid night of G1 cards because right after that, you got Jay White and Taichi as your main event of the night.
It wasn't a bad match. It wasn't a good match. It worked. I think it just...
Is this the match you were referring to about Miho with Gato?
In this match, the stupid nonsense between her and Gato outside of the ring was fantastic.
Yep.
Whatever was happening, where she was yelling something at the ref, and he's like, "Shut up, shut up!" And then Jay White was using her as a distraction for Gato, who was doing stuff like
behind his back.
And she's trying to help Taichi, but really she's hurting him. Yeah. And then the whole thing where he took her like hostage,
grabbed her pulled her by the hair,
and she kept like running towards the situation and then running away. And it's you know what? It worked.
Yeah,
that worked for me. And the match was good. It just wasn't like anything special. But Jay White can go.
And against Taichi really had a good showing in this one too.
He's had better matches though.
Jay White has great ring awareness. Like he knows where he needs to be in the ring. Like he's really good at that.
Was anybody on commentary today?
I can't remember now that one. I should have wrote notes down, but I think this was
Kevin Kelly and the Chris or whatever.
Chris, yeah. But and that takes to the end of night ranked 16. Jay White's still atop the group there. Okada still actually no, this was when Jonah was on top of the group.
Yeah.
And then you had Zach or Tanahashi was on the top of that group, and you had Finley still at the top of Group D on this one. We move on to night 17. This is where the eliminations came hard and fast.
Is this the last day?
The second last.
Okay.
This was a short night with only 4 matches.
Yeah.
The first match was Yoshihashi versus David Finley. it was last match, I think, for both of them. Finley should have won the match, but he didn't. And Finley ended up losing. They all end up at 3-3. And this is where
this loss to me was puzzling. As good
Mhm.
as Yoshihashi's been, and I've been supporting him the whole time, this one was a bit puzzling to me, especially for the fantastic run that David Finley went on. Oops, what the hell's happening on my screen? But
because Yoshi lost the night prior, and then he ends up beating Finley on the second night because Finley was on commentary the previous night because he says to Yoshi, "I'm coming for you tomorrow. I'm coming for you tomorrow."
Yeah, he was the one that was super boring on commentary.
Yeah,
he barely talked for the entire thing. But I do. It was a really good match.
Yeah.
But it was a surprising finish. They got you with another surprising finish.
Yeah. This was the pin out of nowhere, quick roll up.
And this was the start of where, like I said, this is like that other match was the start of it, but this is like where it really started getting weird, where it's like, I'm confused now what's happening. I like the storyline of all the ties, but I'm super confused of where you're trying to go with this.
Yeah. And because even the next match was pretty quick at only 7 minutes, which was Taichi versus Great-O-Khan.
Yeah, and also I don't know if this match actually mattered on the standings.
It actually eliminated Taichi in this match.
Yeah, but Taichi probably wasn't going to get in anyways.
No, not in the same group as Jay White.
Yeah, and Great-O-Khan looked actually good in this match.
Yeah, I like the fact where Khan is in the floor stance and Taichi's in the sumo stance, and they were each trying to bait each other.
Oh, that was so funny, bro. Come in, come in. He's like, has his legs open. He's like, but this is the thing. At the 4.5 minute point of this, I was like, was the match ever going to start? There's one guy lying on the floor with his legs open and one guy standing in a sumo stance for over 4 minutes. This went for.
Yeah. And you know what they were talking about on commentary? Miho Abe's film career.
Oh, yeah. Which, by the way, just don't even Google it.
No, yeah.
I literally did exactly what they told me to do. And then I was like, okay, Chris, whatever his name is, he's got it figured out.
But, he's got it figured out. It was the last match for both. Both men were out at this point. It was an okay match. Great-O-Khan goes over for some reason.
I think it was just to make sure that Taichi didn't have a chance. This was like standings fodder. This was to make sure that it doesn't get screwed up in the standings.
True. Because it was, I'm looking at the standings now, which I'll share with you at the end of the video. But yeah, it was a weird group. Next match was Tom Lawler versus Jeff Cobb. I was actually impressed by this match.
Yeah, it was a pretty good match.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting much, but it turned out to be how Lawler's storytelling on he's trying to take out the bigger guy with submissions, with taking out his knees, taking out with submissions.
Is this when Jonah was on commentary?
Yes. Yeah, it was.
He was great.
Jonah's good. Yeah, Jonah's been good on commentary. Jonah and Archer were the two surprising.
Yeah. And Phantasmo got fun.
Yes, he did.
The two definite standouts of the other direction, which it comes on the next episode. Chase Owens is so bad.
Is horrible. Yeah,
he's the worst ever. David Finley doesn't really talk, so you can't count him. And then who was the other one that was so bad? Oh my gosh,
it's one of the American ones.
Yeah. I can't even think. Anyways, it makes no difference.
Chase, not Folly. Folly was not. Lawler's done a few commentary.
Yeah, Lawler was hit and miss.
Yeah. Phantasmo was okay. That's it. That's really all the guys that have done commentary.
Yeah, Chase Owens is real bad.
Yeah, Chase Owens was pretty bad, which was the next night. Lawler
had the longest night, and we had to have Chase Owens for the whole time. Jesus.
Yeah. Lawler goes over, which was surprising. Cobb needed the win to stay in contention, but instead Cobb lost, and Lawler, they both finished with an even record of 3-3. So they're automatically out. So the only one at this point is Jonah, which they build up to in the next match with Okada versus Jonah in the next night. But then we had the next match. Tanahashi would win the group with a win here. We had Tanahashi versus Kenta. They made a point of each guy is a 3-3 record with against each other. It was the last match for both.
Shit! So I said Kento came off a huge match the night before. This was the next
huge
night.
match. Yeah, it was the next night, which again, he goes over in this match over Tanahashi and eliminates Tanahashi.
And it was a good match.
And it was a big win for him. He needed this win. They were the whole storytelling of this match was Kenta getting retribution for what Tanahashi did to him at was it not?
And it was like I've never seen Tanahashi get a beatdown for this amount of time.
Yeah,
he absolutely got the crap kicked out of him for this entire match.
Kenta's strikes are like insane. At one point, Tanahashi knocks out Red Shoes.
Yeah,
with that slap.
It's funny because if you watch the whole rest of this tournament and the way they kind of played Kenta like a joke, and then see the last two matches, you're like, whoa, what the hell? This is just a complete turnaround. Because he is this good. So is Sonata. I don't understand why they play them like jokes.
Yeah. Both of them were fantastic in this tournament.
Kenta was amazing. This match is great.
Go
out of your way to see this.
And the whole point of this match, too, was Kenta wanting to spoil Tanahashi's one last chance for the main event.
It was epic.
This was like classic Tanahashi versus old school Kenta.
And this match made everything for the next night to the point where I was literally like wanted to run out of work and go home and watch it because it set up so many amazing storylines because all we needed was Tanahashi to take that one loss to make that group be a full tie with going into Naito versus Zack Sabre Jr. was going to decide the group.
Yeah, that's what ends up happening. And it was surprising. Like, I was surprised at the fact that like they both end up finishing with 3-3, but like, and it comes at this point, it comes down to Goto, Naito, and Zack Sabre Jr. on the last night, which we'll go into right now. This was that last match too was a long match. It was like 26, 27. It was one of the longer matches.
Like legit go out of your way to see that.
Yeah, it did not feel that long either.
Because it's very rare to see also Tanahashi get a beatdown like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Next, we go to the final night of round robin play, which was night 18 on August the 16th. First match of the night, Will Osprey versus Juice Robinson. This is where the whole group went over like a fart in church.
This is where you immediately took this epic storyline that you slowly built that we didn't even know was coming, and it was amazing.
Out the window.
Just threw it in the garbage on the first match. Why wouldn't you make this match at the end? Why would you make this the first match?
Or even have the second match of the night, which was Shingo versus ELP before this match.
And that still ends everything.
No, it doesn't.
No, it
doesn't.
No,
that screws everybody over.
Yeah, that ELP match also was the next nail in the coffin for the other group.
Yes, exactly. No, it's the same group. Osprey and ELP.
Okay, so
this is all the same group. So
anyways,
basically, before we get into the second match, basically what had to happen for everybody to end up in a tie was Juice had to beat Osprey and ELP had to beat Shingo. Yeah. And then everybody in that group ends in a 7-way tie. Mm-hmm. So what do? They put the first match of the night of Osprey versus Juice Robinson,
great match,
which wasn't a bad match. Exactly.
The match literally starts off with Will Osprey doing a no rope flip over top of the ropes to the outside. Like he didn't get no. It was amazing.
They went out hard. You could see Osprey had a sense of purpose in this match. He really wanted to. Basically, Osprey wins. He wins the group.
But storyline, great. Match, great. For the G1 storyline, it ruined everything. This absolutely ruined everything.
Because I was kind of hoping to have a 7-way battle royal.
I wanted more. I know this is getting into spoilery, but who cares? We're reviewing it.
We're reviewing it. Yeah.
It made it so that the finals was just the finals. There was no like tension at all for what was going to happen. Yeah. Because when we get to the end of this,
we go to the next match. We'll explain why.
What happened.
Yeah. So with this match, Will Osprey goes over. The fact that he reversed the rock slide into the hidden blade was pretty cool. He really knows how to reverse like finishers, Osprey.
He's arguably the best wrestler working right now.
I
Period.
would
Any
I would
company.
put it that way. I would put it that way. Especially with spoiler, Omega's back and not at 100%.
Yeah, and I think they brought him back way too early.
Yeah, he was definitely showing that ring rust on Wednesday night on Dynamite. But besides the point, yeah, Osprey goes over. Juice Robinson is eliminated. So depending on what happens in the next match, Will Osprey is now atop of the group at 4-2, while everybody else is at 3-3, and Juice is at 2-4. So Juice is automatically out at this point. So next we had ELP versus Shingo Takagi, another one. They were telling the storyline about how Takagi was able to get the win over ELP at Forbidden Door in that Young Bucks ELP versus was it Young Bucks or was it? I can't remember.
Yeah. It was Young Bucks and ELP versus Sting, Shingo, and it was supposed to be Takahashi, but
yeah, that's right, and Darby.
But it's so I just like audibly after the first match I screamed no because I do love Will Ospreay, but I wanted to see the match. I wanted the potential of that match. David Finley, Juice, and
Shingo
and Will. And Shingo, a four-way. Holy crap. Okay, anyways. And then the next match, as we got the outcome, I once again screamed no. Like at the top of my
basically, lungs. Takagi, it was all ELP. And don't get me wrong, ELP has really impressed me this tournament.
He's been great.
He's been really good.
I don't want to take it out on him.
Sorry?
I don't want to take it out on him. Good old Canadian boy.
Basically, if with a win, Shingo wins the block, because he has that win over Osprey. So that's the story they were telling. So even though Osprey won that match, he still didn't win the group because this match had to happen.
Yeah.
But I would have liked it reversal if this match was first. And the thing is, ELP goes over in this match.
Yeah.
So they both finish at 3-3. So automatically Will Ospreay wins the group at that
There
point.
is a few matches on this card, like let's say 2 of them, that realistically had no impact on anything that was happening. Why wouldn't you put those as the first 2 matches?
Exactly.
So on my first match of an 8-match night, and it was automatically everything was over and nothing mattered anymore. What the fuck?
That group. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. There was at one point they did was it the ELP did the top rope Super Rana while they were both standing? That was insane.
He went for a tope suicida, I think, or something, and he screwed up. Like we talked about this in another match,
and then he just says, "To hell with it, I'm going to do it again."
It was really good.
Like he no-sold the botch, basically.
Yeah. So, and then he also did a swanton over the ropes, and he completely missed, but like hit him in the head with his head.
Yeah,
like he went like over him, but it still looked good. It was like
It was and Shingo, the fact that Shingo also kicked out a Thunder Kiss, I thought Shingo was going over at that point, but then again, boom, just like that, ELP goes over and wins the match, thus eliminating Shingo.
Yep.
And Osprey is your Group D winner. Next you have next match of the night was Hiroki Goto versus Evil. Classic matchup of these two. I like Chris at the beginning of the match. He says, "Dick, get that dick to go."
Yeah,
meaning get him out of there. But
he drops a lot of those. He's getting good at it.
Yeah.
But once again, like before we even talk about this, just tell me the finish
of which one
of this match.
Oh, the ELP.
No, this next match, Goto and
Evil. The ref bump and Dick Togo gets in the interference.
Yeah. And who wins?
Goto is out, so Evil wins.
Evil wins. The one match that we didn't need Evil to win, he wins. Ruins the whole setup for the possibility of the ties.
Yeah.
When all he needed to do the other night was beat Tanahashi, and everything would have been okay.
Yeah. So if there was we would have had a 3-way match at the end.
They just didn't want to do those matches. That's clear as day. They didn't want to have any tiebreakers.
Because I don't think they wanted to wrestle twice in one night after wrestling for a month.
I don't care. I want wrestling.
I want wrestling. I want to see it. It was a ref bump. It was basically Goto needed the win to stay alive. It was
a good match.
It was a good match. I mean, they did the whole attacking Goto before he even gets to the ring to kind of beat him down. So this way, Mr. To Go can get involved.
Yeah, refrain from ruining my intro, okay, guys? I like my Goto intro. Continue.
Goto, yes.
Continue.
Yeah, and with the loss, it was a pretty short match, but Goto is out at this point. So it comes down to the next match: Tetsuya Naito versus Zack Sabre Jr.
It's fair to say, it's very fair to say,
I was surprised.
I screamed extremely loud.
Yes, so did I. The match was over in 1:45.
Yeah.
Like less than 2 minutes, this match was over. It started off really good. I like the beginning of the match before the match even started. He's taking off like every bits of, and he's handing them to Zach, and he's like, "Thank you," and he throws it away. Like,
yeah,
he's like, "Arigato," and he throws it.
They were making like some that the comedy there was actually solid.
Yeah, and it's also the fact that Naito wanted to get in Zach's head, which clearly worked in the end because Naito goes over in this match in 1:45.
Yes, which to me, I was like, oh, wow, oh, wow, oh, wow.
When he won this match, my thought, Naito's winning it all now.
Yes, and we already had some thoughts. So at this point, a lot of our thoughts were coming true. A lot of our, like, what we wanted.
Because we did pick Naito to win the group. We also picked Osprey to win the group.
And I didn't expect it to go the way that it did. Zack Sabre Jr. spent a long time breaking things afterwards.
Yes,
it got
throwing
real
a temper
funny.
Yeah.
The throw of whatever he threw to him and he tried to hit it like a baseball bat with the chair was hilarious.
The ice pack. He's like trying to give him the ice pack.
He wound up and he threw it because Naito likes baseball. And
yeah. Yeah, he's like, you want the ice pack? You want the ice pack? And he's swinging at it.
Naito's comedy is not even comedy as much as it is I'm just a huge piece of shit. And it's rockish, and that's why I love him.
Yeah. He's got Naito definitely has that charisma to him. It was a great, as short as it was a good match because after that we have a nothing match of Ishii versus Sonata. They were both out. I put not really interested in this.
This was not a good match at all.
No, you could tell these guys just didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
This is a paycheck to me.
Okay,
I'm surprised he did not try to put Ishii in the Paradise Lock.
That's true. I don't think he could flex that much.
Video coming soon of me putting Fab in the Paradise Lock.
Yes, it's happening. I don't know. Even if the minute, like the really short match we just watched was better than this, and was this match like actually garbage? No. But when you watch the first matches of this night, this doesn't fit in.
Because everything else meant something up until this point.
And this was the only match.
This was the only match of the night, I think, that didn't mean anything.
Osprey versus Juice was fantastic.
Yeah.
And so was Shingo versus ELP.
Yeah. There were 8 matches on this night, and this was the only match where it didn't mean anything.
I think this match and the last match were both the same time.
The last match. The last match.
Zack Sabre Jr. and... They were both,
it was already,
and this match wasn't that long either. They did both these matches to like try and
because they went longer on the next 3 matches or next 4. I mean, Ishii goes over. Ishii gets a win, and
congratulations.
More than half that group finishes at 2 and 4, which is pointless.
Yep.
Next match, fantastic match. You had Jay White versus Tamatonga.
What a match.
Basically, this is winner takes the group. Because you have Tonga at this point at 4-1, and Jay White is at 4-0. So with a win, Tonga and Jay are tied, but Tonga wins on the tiebreaker because he has the win.
Based on storyline and in-ring storytelling, this is arguably the best match of the tournament. Maybe
Former
not the
Bullet
best
Club member against the current leader.
It might not have been the best ring work. It was fantastic. But the story they told and the ups and downs of the match were so good. And
but even as I saw too, this was also a story between Jado and Gato. And Gato. Because former tag team members, former best friends, and it worked out well because Jado kept Gato out of the match.
Yeah.
He wasn't a factor.
And there's a lot of little pieces like that. And I think it worked really well. But we knew one thing. If we got the storyline of this match that we wanted, which was Tama to win, we knew that Okada was going to beat him.
Yes, absolutely.
There was 0% chance that he was.
Tama does go over. Tama beats Jay White.
Yeah, so we got what we wanted, but it's going to lead to what we don't want.
And I called it at the beginning of the tournament. If there was going to be somebody to spoil this group, it was going to be Tamatonga.
I hate that. I hate it a lot.
And because I think they really want to push him as a single star now. He's been there for so long.
He has a lot of name recognition. So does Jado. So by using them as singles and as a tag team together, they might get them over.
I also think because we're not going to let you know who that's in the next video. We're not going to let you know who won the tournament, but I think this sets up Jay White's next opponent before Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah.
So it's like now there's a reason for Jay White to have that title defense against Tamatonga, because you can't go to Wrestle Kingdom without a title defense. There's got to be a title defense in there somewhere.
What's the next pay-per-view, Dontaku?
I think so. I'm not 100% sure. It's not on the calendar.
I checked it and I forgot.
Yeah, but there is I think it's at the end of September or early October. But they're doing the one in New York in October. I think that's
that's what it is. That's what it is.
Yeah. Was it Rumble something?
Rumble in Manhattan or something.
Rumble on 44th Street.
Oh, yeah. Rumble on 44th Street. Yeah.
Yeah. Which they announced it on the second night, but it's going to take place in New York. And I think that's where they're going to set up the title match between Tamatonga against Jay White.
I think because it's in the States, you're going to have some AEW people slip into that.
Yeah, I think so. I think
there's going to be an FTR match for sure.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. They're defending the belts at that show for sure. For sure. It was fantastic. I love the fact that Tama went over, hands Jay White his only loss in the tournament. People were expecting Jay White to go. Even we were saying Jay White's going to go undefeated this tournament, but unfortunately, or fortunately, however you want to call it, it sets up a match. But Tama goes over. Like I said, it sets up a good title match. We know Tama won't win it, but it sets up a good title match. And I'll watch it again. Next match of the night, you have Jonah versus Bad Luck Folly. Basically, if Jonah wins this match, he wins the block because he has that win over Okada. So no matter what Okada did in the next match, if Jonah wins, he wins the group. Chase causing the distraction at the beginning of the match, which I hated. I put Folly is just so slow. He moves like Barney the dinosaur.
He had a couple good moments in this match, surprisingly, but I agree with Barney.
When he does actual moves, his moves look devastating, especially his power moves. But I also
tried to Black Forest him.
Yes, he tried.
Didn't work.
Didn't work, but he tried. I put here too. They were outside for so long and the ref wasn't counting.
Yeah.
Right. Jonah was out there and the ref's not counting. I put red shoes. I love the match. I love the match. And the only thing is I love red shoes, but he lets too much go sometimes.
Oh, it's red shoes. You can't be mad.
I know. That's why I can't be mad, but he does out of all the other refs. He's the one who lets the most go.
The guy that is before red shoes,
Marty
lets
Asami?
the most go.
Yeah.
He lets everything go. They use a chair and he lets it go.
Yeah. That's true. Sorry, and I made a mistake. It's if Jonah wins and Okada loses, Jonah wins the block.
Yeah, because Jonah does win this match.
Yeah, because Jonah won the match, exactly. And thank goodness for that. So, final match of the night. Surprisingly, another good match. Okada versus Lance Archer.
It was okay.
Where was this Lance Archer the rest of the tournament?
Buddy, his fucking choke slam. I talk about it all the time.
It's the sickest.
There's no one ever in the history of wrestling that choke slams anybody like that. He gets them so high up, and the impact looks like it really hurts.
And the fact that Okada, when he lifts him, Okada jumps with him, and it just makes it look like, without making it look like he's jumping, it just makes it look like he's
Okada's like an insane athlete. You got to say that. This match was great. It shouldn't have been that great, but once again, I have this issue where Lance Archer in the middle parts of matches has this move set where it doesn't look like he's hitting them.
Yeah. But there was one spot in the middle of the match where Okada's up against the barricade and he does the cannonball and his head just like goes through the
Oh my gosh. When he was whipping him into the barricades, he was
yeah.
really they broke the light fixture, wasn't it that match?
That's the match. They broke the light. Yeah, that's the one. Like it like some of the visuals, like it just made Archer look like a beast. And Kevin Kelly is saying when this guy goes back to AEW, he's gonna dominate.
But they're not even gonna give him matches. They never do.
No. Like give me an Archer versus Moxley, even if like that's the type of match I want to see.
If you present him in a Kane-esque manner, where you just let him go on a dominant streak and let everybody forget about all the losses that he took, you might have a beast on your hands. I know he's pretty old, but
yeah, I think at this point, what AEW needs to do is they need to start hot-shotting the title. Not a lot, but like 2 months runs.
Yeah, especially for how many belts you have.
Yeah,
you need to start passing them.
Yeah.
Especially Jade Cargill. But the problem with her is you need to protect her streak because I think the streak actually is important.
It is.
Then you know what I would like to see? I would like to see a Luchasaurus versus Lance Archer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or make a tag team where they both have a big guy and a little guy with Luchasaurus and Lance Archer. Like maybe give him Jungle Boy.
Let's see how that goes. The thing is now with the trios tournament, this is where you needed Marco Stunt to be in that trios.
Yeah, I mean, but they're not doing that storyline. Maybe you bring Lance Archer back because he's a heel in AEW and you put him with Christian.
But the thing is, if people who've been watching AEW have seen Lance Archer's performance in New Japan, he's not going to come back as a heel. That's the thing. Like, even at the end of the match, like, we'll get into the end of the match right now. Okada goes over, clearly. We all knew.
And before we, like, dog on it, Okada's fantastic.
And that Rainmaker Archer did on Okada looked sick as hell.
Yeah. He flattened him. He literally just, like, put him into the ground.
Yeah, that
was sick.
So that was, and like it was like Archer dominated the match too. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And Okada like this is another one. It was a quick win.
Yeah.
Even though we knew Okada was going to win, but you were going to say about like, and then that little show of respect. They give each other the fist bump at the end of the match too. It's like it was good.
It's important, and I think.
It was a good way to end that night and a good way to end the round robin tournament.
This episode's ending right now, correct?
Yeah, I'm just going to show the standings.
I don't want to, if we're going to go into more matches, but I think that...
Yeah, keep talking. I'm going to start, I'm going to show the final standings.
Really good at selling to the point where like in modern wrestlers, I would say he falls in a category with like Jon Moxley and Chris Jericho and even Charlotte Flair, where they really can sell a bump. Like they'll sell for a whole match, but the problem is, just like all of those guys,
they're going over.
They're booked too well, so it's like no matter how good, it's like nothing bad can happen to them, no matter what. And I just don't like it.
Yeah, it's the Roman Reigns, Charlotte Flair, John Cena style booking.
Yeah, and Moxley has been booked like that recently, and it's really embarrassing.
Yeah. Especially the Takeshita match we were talking
about.
Oh
my God. Just Okada is way Hulk Hogan booked.
Oh, yeah.
So anyways.
Yeah, absolutely. So here's your final standings. You have Okada going over in Group A with 10 points. Clear-cut winner there. Tama and Jay White were tied at a win apiece.
one win away from nailing all four.
Yeah.
You realize that, right? like from the very start.
Yeah, because we picked White to win this, but like I said, I'm proud of the fact that I picked Tonga to be the spoiler in this one.
I'll give you that.
Then again, like this one surprised us all. Naito winning the group after going 0-2.
Yeah, because you poorly booked him. I know it's all planned booking.
Yeah.
But the way it looks to us is like really poor booking early on. So we're like, no.
And then when he got those first couple of wins, we said it in that video, trust the booking. Yeah. And sure enough, Naito goes over. And here it is. Look at these standings right here. You could have had a fantastic 7-way battle royal to determine who the winner of this group is.
Even if you just gave me Osprey versus Shingo.
Yeah.
I would have.
Yeah, absolutely. So Juice Robinson, surprisingly, is at the bottom of the group, but not that far off. Like,
and he's not the worst wrestler in this group.
No. But really, this group was actually one of the, in terms of like evenly matched,
we would have said Takahashi was the outlier of this group for being the weakest. Yeah. We would have said that.
Oh,
I no longer would have said that.
No.
Or Yoshihashi, because even coming into this, you didn't think Yoshihashi was going to do anything worthwhile.
No. Or ELP.
Yeah, that's true. ELP was fantastic, man.
Yeah. So your semifinals are going to be Okada versus Tonga and Naito and Osprey. So to see the results of the semifinals and the finals, guys, tune in tomorrow night on Johnny Donuts 777, where we will have the breakdown of those last 2 nights and the final and our thoughts. And maybe we'll do our match of the tournament and most outstanding performer and the worst performer and best commentary.
No, I'm okay with that.
All right. So until next time, guys, we'll see you all tomorrow. And make sure, like I said, join us tomorrow. Link will be in the description for my Discord. So go on and check that out when I drop the next video. So until next time, guys, thanks a lot. And we'll see you all next time.